So here's a little update of the pollinator garden. I wanted to get a little video while everything was bloomed and it looked really nice. I did add a couple things. These are the Tritunia plums, like petunias, fancy petunias. I did add, if you can see, this little seedling right here and right here. So those are Mammoth Russian sunflowers. I did move the chair that was sitting right here just to give them some sun, some time to get a little bit bigger. When the chair's there, it really does block the sun. And they're sunflowers, they need a lot of sun. So here's the zinnias. So this little patch and this little patch, those are the zinnias that I had in the baking tray. So I did a little baking tray experiment where I put some drainage holes in the bottom, put some potting soil in, took a pack of zinnia seeds, sprinkled it on top of the soil, watered it in. Literally all I did was just keep it moist. I didn't bury the seeds, did nothing, and they all came up. And look how healthy they are. And this isn't, I did nothing to the soil. I just transplanted them right into the native soil, which is very rocky, clay, hard. Put a little bit of grass, mulch, grass clippings around it, and it's been doing great. It's been growing fine. And then we have this big sunflower here. I think this is an autumn beauty. I can usually tell if it's an autumn beauty because the stems are purple. And then on a regular, like Mammoth Russian, the stems are just plain green. So yeah, we have the apricot Vinca here, and then this gorgeous dark pink Vinca back there. The echinacea is getting pretty lush and full. I'm hoping it gets enough sun. It doesn't get any sun until the afternoon, until the sun comes over the fence. So hopefully that'll get enough sun. And we have the Yarrow here, the Rose Marvel Yarrow. I've been talking about my last couple of videos, the storm that we had, and it did knock down some of my Yarrow. Half of the plant was laying down, so I took some twine and just tied it around the plant, and it's been fine. It's been about 2 or 3 days and they've been okay, so hopefully they'll do good. And then we have the Star Sister Dwarf Dahlias here. This again is my first year growing dahlias. I don't know anything about them. I've been deadheading them. They seem fine. They're forming new buds. They look really good. I just love this little space right here. All these beautiful pinks and purples and reds. And so these, I don't know if I just said this, but these are the candy cane zinnias that I had in the baking tray. So they'll be striped, like red and white stripe, pink and white stripe. So they'll be really pretty. Then we have this crazy mint over here, getting huge. Mint is very invasive if you just put it in your garden, so that's why I have it in a container there. That container, I just picked it up and it's light. It's like bone dry, and this plant, you couldn't tell. It just grows in whatever. And then we have the habanero there looking good. Oh, so I'm so afraid. I'm so afraid to touch my milkweed now since I've been reading about it. So this is a very poisonous plant. It has milky sap in it, like a milky white sap if you break the leaves, and it can cause dermatitis in sensitive individuals. It's very harmful, potentially lethal if swallowed in large quantities. But you can see the gorgeous flowers on it. They're really, really tiny. Let's see if I can zoom in here. Yeah, so the flowers are really small. I mean, it's not much to look at. It's not the most gorgeous thing in the world, but the reason, and I've said before, the reason why I planted it was for the monarch butterflies. This is the only plant that a monarch butterfly will lay its eggs on, and then the baby caterpillars hatch and they feed exclusively on milkweed leaves, and the caterpillars actually ingest and store the toxic glycosides from this plant inside their bodies. therefore making them poisonous to predators, which I thought was really cool. And then the caterpillars, after they feed, will find like a structure, something like this, to form their chrysalises on. They'll hatch, and then the life cycle continues. But since monarch butterflies only lay eggs on the milkweed, and the caterpillars feed exclusively on the milkweed, if there isn't any milkweed, then the population declines. So that's why I have this in the garden. If I can help save the little butterflies, that would be great. So yeah, this is doing good. Then we have the chamomile over here getting really big. I did harvest some off of it yesterday. It smells, to me, and I've heard a couple other people say the same thing, it smells like green apple candy, like sour apple candy. This is the German variety. The Roman variety is more of like a ground cover. It's like much closer to the ground. And then this German kind here actually has more of the chemical that makes you sleepy, like if you want to make chamomile tea. So that's another reason why I chose the German kind. This German is most commonly used for like if you want to make chamomile tea, sleepy tea and stuff. So here's the nasturtiums. And then we have more plum petunias. I love this color. And like the lavender or like supertunia, like Bordeaux. I love that type of color. And we have the lavender here. We have the strawberry blonde calendula, which I've been harvesting. You can see these empty stems here because I've been harvesting all of the calendula. I'm going to take this guy in when I go in. And then I'm going to make some gorgeous, nutritious, skin-loving, because you know calendula has amazing skin benefits. I'm going to make some lotions, balms, salves, oils, and they will be available. I make them from scratch by hand with my own stuff from the garden, and I'll be selling them on my website. So I'll let everyone know when that's posted. We have all of these sunflowers, and look what has arrived. So this is a Japanese beetle, and these guys just decimate my plants every year. Usually most people, if you're doing organic gardening, which is what I do, I don't use any like chemicals or any herbicides or poisons in my garden. Just if you see them on there like that, take a cup of soapy water, hold it under there, knock them into the soapy water, and they take a little bubble bath and they die. So, but yeah, they tear up my plants. My zinnias, they love to mate and then have dinner on my zinnias, eating all of my flowers. Then we have another sunflower, another sunflower, another sunflower, another one down there. This one got broke by the storm, as I showed in that assessing the damage video. And then another little sunflower over there. Check out this amaranth. I just have to show this real quick. These air fresheners are to repel the skunks. So if you see those, we're not just trashy, they're actually serving a purpose down there. So little amaranth's getting big. Such a beautiful plant. And then also for the pollinators, we have a couple volunteer sunflowers. So I have a bird feeder right here that had sunflower seeds in it. 2 seeds got dropped on the ground, and there's 2 volunteer sunflowers. This is a gladiolus, planted the bulbs there this year from Dollar Tree. Then we have some celosia, more celosia, rosemary. Here's another zinnia that I transplanted right there. So yeah, the pollinators have a nice little buffet here, nice little selection of nectars and pollen. And then of course they have their little house to go to when they're done. So, and another thing that I found out the other day, I know I've never talked about it on my channel, but I struggle with a weed in my garden. It's the most invasive weed I've ever dealt with. Every single day there are new ones popping up. So if you can see these little, they look like little palm trees right there, behind there, right there. There's something there. Right here is a big one. Every day, like I said, all through my garden. Like these weren't even here yesterday. I mean, after just one day. Right here. There's some right there. I battle this ever since I've started a garden. Every single day. So it's called the Tree of Heaven. Such a beautiful name, huh? And there, I believe, is the mama or the daddy. So right there, and then it sends out a root system and it spreads through roots all over the place, like up to 50 feet from the parent plant. And then yesterday, when my neighbor had people over to mow his lawn and do some lawn care, we had a big, huge tree of heaven right there. You can see this little stem right here. That was another one. And there was another one over here. You can see they ripped it down and just threw it in the grass. So when you take down this tree, apparently, and just rip it up, it sends out like signals to the root system, like, oh no, we're under attack, we need to send up shoots now, we're dying. And then it goes into like plant overdrive, and it just sends out like a ton more roots. So they were just, you can see another little stem right there behind the fence. They were just yanked out yesterday. So I guess here soon I'll be seeing millions of them just popping up through my garden. And I've also seen that they, when I was reading about them, that they produce a poison in the ground. So I'm gonna have to look into that. Like I said, I don't use any like herbicides or poisons. I don't want to poison the ground. I don't want to do that to the soil, to my garden. But yeah, I gotta figure out a way to deal with this, because it seems like when I pull one of them, 15 more come up. And if I just leave them, that's what they turn into. That's what they turn into. That big stalk right there. It's all along the fence line. So I'm gonna have to figure out, I might just have to pull them for the rest of my life. But I'm not gonna put any poison down. I won't do it. But yeah, so that is the Tree of Heaven. A lot of people call it the Tree of Hell. That's what I'm gonna refer to it as, the Tree of Hell. And well, for the pollinator garden, when this gets a little bit bigger, the morning glory that's over there in the ground, I've been debating with myself whether or not to pull it up. It is very invasive, morning glory. If I do leave it, it's going to drop seed. I'm going to be picking seedlings out along with this Tree of Hell for the rest of my time here. So I might pull that out. But so the vision, I know the chair's missing. It's over here. So these guys can get some sun and get a little bit bigger. But I'm going to put the chair back. And then once the chair is there, I'll have a sunflower in the back, sunflower right here, another sunflower over there, and then these two patches of zinnias will be nice and tall. And maybe, if I keep the morning glory, some morning glory around the chair. And then, of course, the milkweed will be sitting on the chair. and I thought that would look really beautiful. So when everything gets a little bit bigger, or if I do anything new, maybe I'll do another update once I mulch this and tidy it up a little bit more. I'll do another little update video and see what it looks like then. But yeah, until the next garden update, I will see you guys then.